one DVD that I mentioned in my last video that people really have to watch was called The Boy Whose Skin Fell Off. This is a fantastic documentary. It's all about the last about year, just over a year, of the life of Johnny Kennedy. Johnny Kennedy was born with the terrible condition dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa, EB or DEB, which means his skin falls off and blisters at the very slightest touch. This is the DVD here. This is the front cover of the DVD. The disc inside just says the title of the picture and has a similar colour background to that. Now you see, of course, he was in a wheelchair for most of his life due to his condition. This was, of course, originally shown on Channel 4 in about 2004. Sadly, like I said, this captures the last about year or so of Mr. Kennedy's life. He was, of course, born on the 4th of November 1966 in Whitley Bay, Tyne and Wear. He lived in Northumberland and eventually after being diagnosed with terminal cancer, because the condition causes the skin to grow and try and replace itself again, so fragile it blisters, and eventually the condition turns into terminal skin cancer, which is sadly what happened to Mr. Kennedy. After being told the sad news that he had terminal cancer, one thing that he always wanted to do was to live in a house on his own, and he did manage to do that for the last couple of months before his death in a place called hopefully this Alnwick in England. He was English. This whole document is English, by the way. He was an Englishman. The whole document is in English, by the way. There's no foreign language on this. If you're in the UK anyway, but so-called foreign nowadays, of course. It's all in English. It's a really great documentary. Like I said, it shows the last about year or so of his life. It's made by, I have to mention, filmmaker Patrick Collerton, narrated as well by Kevin Waitley of All Wiedersehen pet fame. And the DVD has a couple of special features, a few shots from the family photo album as a tribute to Johnny Kennedy, a few shots of him and his family, his brother, his mother Edna, who looked after him his whole entire life. So thank you to her for that. I'm sure he she knows what it meant to him. And a small section about what is epidermolysis bullosa. It's a very interesting documentary to watch. It goes from the tragic moments to the funny moments. You can see he had a great sense of humour, laughing and joking at the camera. There is some really good moments when he's talking to one of his old friends, who was Lord Redsdale, a lord in the House of Parliament. I believe they grew up together, or at least they knew each other very well. They were good friends. At one point, he's undocumented. He actually has lunch with Lord Redsdale at the House of Parliament, although you only see them sitting outside nearby in a cafe place, talking about, of course, his upcoming passing and the funeral, talking about the funeral arrangements. This, of course, like I said, he passed away sadly on the 26th of September 2003. So come Friday, of course, it said 4th of November 1966 would have been his 45th birthday. Like I said, this condition is a terrible condition. He set up, it shows you during the programme, the launch of the charity Deborah, which is, he was one of course the main people in setting that up, that charity up, which stands for Dystrophic Epidermolysis Bullosa Research Association. I'm sure you've seen many maybe adverts for it. There's lots of shops around the UK. There's one here in Dundee, and I'm sure there's many shops around Great Britain, UK. Obviously, it's a very good charity. This was one, the genuine one that's set up by the late John Kennedy before he passed away. Like I said, during the document you actually see the official press launch of the charity, including former glamour model, TV presenter Nell McAndrew, with his very good actual photo shoot. He describes it very well. His condition is similar to me, is about as fragile as butterflies, and Nell McAndrew poses with lots of butterflies on her and around her at the press launch. I'm sure there's photos of the internet of the Deborah charity press launch still on the internet. It's a very good posed pictures, obviously, and she of course gets very upset when he's turning on the old charm, as he says. Like I said, he had a fantastic sense of humour. He has a very fantastic sense of humour. He's laughing and joking all the time, and unfortunately, he hadn't, due to his condition, he hadn't gone under puberty, and because his vocal cords, due to the condition, had become slightly scarred, he spoke with quite almost a young boy. That's why he's probably called the boy whose skin fell off, instead of the man whose skin fell, because he really was a man, 36 years old when he died, and he faced his life and his condition with such bravery. Like I said, it switches from the funny moments of him joking with his pal Lord Redesdale and turning the charm on, and even winks at the camera like, hey, Nell McAndrew's not that bad looking as you, type deal, to some sad, tragic moments. He goes and picks out his coffin, designed his coffin for the funeral, including putting on a tin of baked beans on grave a tin of baked beans on the side of the coffin. I won't tell you why. Check out the video. I know it's on YouTube, but please, if I'm sure the DVDs, it says on the DVDs that it's a 10%. Where is it? 10% of all profit made from the sale of this DVD will be donated to the Johnny Kennedy Northeast. That's the charity foundation set up after his death. And I'm sure, hopefully, sales from these from however, I don't know how frequent the DVD sales are of that DVD Boy Whose Skin Fell Off, but hopefully money is still being taken from the retailers and given to the various charities that he helped, like Deborah and the John Kennedy Northeast. So hopefully, like I said, it goes from the tragic to the, like I said, he picked out his coffin for his funeral, and like I said, put the tin of baked beans on it to fulfilling one of it. Like I said, he dreamed about living on his own, and finally got a house for last few months, was like in Alnwick. I think I shouldn't pronounce it right, but you see him interviewed in a local radio station. Like I said, you see his housewarming party. He actually, at the press launch of Deborah, invited, and she does appear, Nell McAndrew to his housewarming party, which is a great touch. And of course, he absolutely breaks down and cries when he's retelling his, like I said, his story about his life and his condition to her at the press launch. She is so amazing, and hopefully her continues her efforts to raise money for this charity. I'm sure, but lots of charities, I'm sure, celebrities like herself have a lot of charities, a lot of asking for her time, I'm sure. But it also goes to hard to watch scenes. Now, his mother Edna Kennedy, obviously she looked after him his entire life. Of course, he was very grateful for that. His brother also helped, of course, very much so. But it's a very hard scene to watch where he has, it's very regular, you see it on the DVD, he has to have his bandages replaced on a regular basis, and you see one of the process of taking off the bandages and replacing them. Of course, like I said, with due to his condition, and it's an extremely painful procedure to undergo. He breaks down in tears several times during it. It's very difficult to watch those parts. It's a very well sensitively shot DVD. It shows you him. He does not follow really a religion. He was more of a spiritualist person, seeing death as a release. Like he said, he's going to be bored if angels all angels do every day is sit around on their harps, on their clouds, playing their harps. I'll get them off their clouds and go in 10,000 feet drops and back up again. You know, things like quotes like that. It goes from the funny to the tragic to the inspirational stuff throughout the documentary. Like I said, it only lasts 50 minutes. It's well worth a watch. Like I said, coming up Friday between his 45th birthday, what better time to order the DVD collection from hmv.com and from various other commercial video DVD websites. I'll show you again. It's simply called The Boy Whose Skin Fell Off. It's a very good document. I'm not really covering it that well because I like people to actually order and buy the DVDs. I'm sure hopefully retailers are still actually giving percentage of the sales of these DVDs to the charities. I really do hope so because it's well worth the money. I can't remember, about a tenner or something. It was very cheap, very well worth every single penny. It's very inspirational. Like I said, it goes from the tragic scenes to him facing up to his passing. He sadly passes away actually on a train, actually going back from a meeting with Sherry Blair in the number 10. So this said he didn't quite die the way he wanted to, I'm sure, but he, like I said, he continues to inspire many of the, I'm sure, volunteers and workers in the Deborah charity and the Johnny Kennedy Northeast charity. I'm sure that if you check out this DVD, you will not be disappointed. And now, normally if I watch a DVD and I review it, I'm going to normally give it like a rating 10 out of 5 out of 10 or something out of 10 or something out of 5. I'm not going to do it with this document. All I'm going to say, you need to watch it. I know it's on YouTube, but please buy the DVDs if they're still giving the money to the charities. I hope they are. Please buy the DVD. Don't just download it from YouTube or another internet site. Buy the DVD. It is well worth it. It's extremely great. Like I said, it's very well shot. It's very well edited, put together. He talks about his life very open and very honestly. Talks about his father, talks about his mother, his childhood. He does it very well openly. You see the struggles he has to go through, the steps that he takes to raise money for the charity, Deborah. Like I said, just in closing, it's a very good documentary. It was at number 6 in the top 50 document. Channel 4 had, as always has on a regular basis, the top 50 of this, top 50 of that, or top 100 of this. It was actually number 6 in the top the 50 greatest documentaries of all time on Channel 4. It was voted number 6, and it won the International Emmy for Documentary 2004. So it's an inspirational story, an extraordinary man, as it said on the front cover. I really do want people to look for this, check out, like I said, I got it at hmv.com, available on many other DVD websites, sales websites. Please check this DVD out. It's a very inspiring story about a man dealing with his condition, his family dealing with his condition, his friends dealing with his condition. Very well worth it. It's extremely well made, very sensitively handled. He did it on his own terms when he found out he was dying. So please check out The Boy Whose Skin Fell Off on DVD. Please buy it. Very well worth it, your time and money. Please, thank you.